6 months ago, in the Suanli #T living room of their Montecito mansion, surrounded by minimalist decor and echoes of happier days, Harry's voice #rumbled with frustration. "I can't keep up, Meg," he said, his eyes avoiding Meghan's. "I left the palace for us, but this, actual, Netflix, the constant spotlight, it's another cage." Meghan's eyes welled with tears. "You think #NTed this? I gave up my career, my privacy, my home for you. I thought we were building a future together." Harry paced, running his hands rough his hair. "I love you, but I am losing myself. I need to breathe." Those words hung like a dark cloud. Meghan knew the toll of his memoir Spare, the global backlash, the family rifts, the guilt of exposing royal secrets, but she never imagined he'd seek freedom without her. The unraveling was slow but relentless. Harry spent late nights in his study, scrolling through photos from his army days, his face etched with longing for a simpler life. Meghan tried to bridge the gap, planning charity galas and pushing their Netflix deal, but each effort seemed to push him further away. One night, she found him staring at a photo of his mother, Diana. "I thought I could escape her fate," he whispered. "But the cameras, the lies, they're eating me alive." Meghan reached for his hand, but he pulled away, his silence louder than any argument. She felt the weight of his withdrawal, a growing chasm she couldn't cross. Then came the bombshell. A post on X from @RoyalInsiderX exploded online. Prince Harry has walked out on Meghan, spotted at a Miami resort with friend #Nacho Figueres. Meghan sat frozen in her office, the words blurring on her screen. She called Harry, straight to voicemail. She texted Nacho, who replied coldly, "Harry needs space, me #gone. Let him be." The media swarmed like vultures. The Daily Mail blared, "Meghan stuns Harry with harsh words. This is the end." Vanit #Whyfair hinted her team was pitching a post-divorce memoir, a claim she dismissed said as speculative. In Miami, Harry sat by a pool, his gaze distant. Nacho clapped his shoulder. "You did the right thing, mate. She's too intense, always chasing the spotlight. You need peace." Harry shook his head. "I low #VE her, Nacho, but I'm drowning." Meghan threw herself into work, desperate to reclaim her narrative. Her Netflix documentary, With Love, Meghan, was meant to be her triumph, a raw, honest look at her life, her causes, her here #T. She spent sleepless nights editing, pouring her soul into interviews about her #Ruggles, a royal outsider. But 6 days after its release, it plummeted from the top 10, critics branding it self-obsessed and tone-deaf. The failure cut deep, but Harry's absent #E was a sharper wound. A friend mentioned seeing him at a polo match in Florida, laughing with old mates, looking freer than he had in years. Meghan found an unsent letter she'd written to him. "I thought our love could outlast the world's noise. I was wrong." She tore it to pieces, tears streaming down her face. The rift widened. Meghan and Harry was working on a solo project, a mental health documentary, filmed without her. At a New York gala, a producer casually dropped, "Harry's found his spark again." The words landed like a blow. That night, a leaked email from Harry's team surfaced on X. The Duke is pursuing independent projects to reconnect with his roots. The internet erupted. #Meghan abandoned trended globally. Some painted her as a victim, others as a villain whose ambition drove Harry away. Meghan felt the weight of every headline, every tweet, every whispered judgment. She began to unravel the party, piecing together where it went wrong. She remembered their early days, stolen kisses in Botswana, dreams of a life bound by sea roans or cameras. They'd vowed to face the world together, but the world had other plans. Harry's memoir had reopened old wounds, exposing family rifts that never healed. Meghan's push for their brand, Archewell, Netflix, Spotify, was her way of proving they could thrive. But Harry saw it as a new prison, built on fame rather than duty. "I don't want to be a brand," he'd said once, his voice bitter. "I just want to be me." Her team urged her to fight back. "Write the book," her publicist pressed D. The world #D wants your truth. But Meghan hesitated. A book would mean exposing Harry's vulnerabilities, airing their pain, and she still loved him, even now. Instead, she poured her energy into Archewell, launching a women's empowerment initiative. At a press conference, she stood tall, her voice steady. "I've faced storms, Beth, she said. "I'll face this one too." The CRO cheered, but inside, she felt hollow. Her phone remained silent, no word from Harry. In Miami, Harry wasn't as free as he appeared. Nights were spent staring at old photos of Meghan, their children, their life. Nacho pushed him to move on, but doubts gnawed at him. Had he fled love instead of fighting for it? He drafted a letter to Meghan. "I didn't leave you, Meg. I left the #AOs. I want us back, but I don't know how." He never sent it, crumpling it in frustration. The final twist came at a London charity event, Meghan's first public appearance since the split. She wore a crimson gown, her smile defiant against the whispers. Then, a shock. Harry was there, across #he room, his eyes locking onto hers. The crowd hushed, sensing the tension. He approached, his face unreadable. "Meg," he said softly, "can we talk?" Her heart raced, torn between hope and hurt. Was this a chance to rebuild, or another go odd by? The world watched, hungry for the next chapter. Meghan stood on a cliffside later that night, the ocean stretching endlessly before her. She thought of their love, their battles, the dreams they'd shared. A single tear fell as she whispered, "I'm not broken yet." With that, she turned from the past, ready to carve a new path, one that would stun them a #LL.